Okay, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I hope that to those who are not present last meeting, were able to watch the pre-recorded video that I've uploaded in our Facebook group so that you guys have already catch up to us. Okay, so we wasn't able the uh, module 1, part 1 last meeting, so we've stopped right here, okay, in slide 42, okay? So we have just finished this one last meeting, so the next one is this one. Assignment number 1, constructing truth table. So I hope that you guys have already made an advance reading so that you don't need to rush anything about this one anymore. Okay, so of course, since this one is in your uh, module, so you have to do this one also. Assignment number 1, constructing truth table. So this will be part of your assignment or state work or activity in your Canvas. Okay, so I would like you guys to construct a truth table for these statements, number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so use Microsoft Word. Okay, so any version of Microsoft Word as long as it's Microsoft Word. Okay, so let me just show to you guys on how to do it. So let's create a new blank and then just create a table. Okay, let's say number 1 and then create a table. Okay, so in here, just remove the numbers. Okay? You don't need the numbers. So yeah, you can use insert and then go here in table. And then say, I don't know how many columns you will be needing. Okay, so that's how you do this one. Okay, so just do something like this. Okay, did you guys get it so far? So we have 1, 2, and 3 for this one. So you have to construct the truth table and then dapat ganito, okay? So, we have our own approach. So, pwede magkakaiba kayo dito, pero dapat parehas kayo dito. Okay? So, what are those two? Those are the possible outcomes or result, okay, of those two combinations. So, we have true-true, we have true-false, we have false-true, and then false-false. Okay? So, I guess, yeah, they're the same. So, we only have 2 variables, so we only have 4 possible outcomes. If we have 3 variables, then we have 8 possible outcomes. That's already quite a lot. But for this one, we only have 2, okay? P and Q, P and Q, and then P and Q. Okay? So, nag-gets nyo naman so far kung anong gagawin nyo dito, guys, sa assignment number 1? Or may naguluhan?
Yes, sir, we get you.
Okay, that's good. So I hope to those others who didn't answer have also get it. All right, so moving on, we have here tautology. So it is a compound statement that is true for all possible values of the propositional variables. So if ever that expression, and then upon creating the truth table, okay, and then all of the results are true, we call that one tautology. Okay, so not all expressions are tautology. Not all expressions are also contingency or contradictions. Later on, I'll introduce you what is contradiction and then contingency. But for now, just focus on this one, tautology. So this expression has a result of tautology. Okay, so meaning upon creating the truth table or evaluating the truth table, you've come up with the result of all true results. So true, 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 true. Okay. So, P or Q, Q or P, alam niyo yan. Na-discuss na natin to nung last meeting kung paano mag-evaluate ng OR. Okay. So, combine nyo lang itong dalawa gamit ang biconditional. So, base nyo lang dun sa truth table natin ng biconditional kung bakit naging true yung result. Okay, so true, 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 and then false, false. So, ulitin ko lang sa mga hindi nakakaalala. Sa OR, pag may isang true na statement, okay, let's say 10 statements. Pag may isang true, true na rin yun lahat. As long as they are being connected by true symbol. Okay? Kaya dito, true, true is true. Dito pala, sa P and Q. P or Q rather. So, true or true is true. true or false is true, false or true is true, and then false or false is false, of course, since there is no true statements on the last one. And then for QRP, so nabaliktad lang naman. So basically, same sila ng result. Okay? Kasi nabaliktad lang, basically. So true, true, ganun pa rin. So meron pa rin true, etc., etc. And then, since meron ka na ng mga values ng P or Q sa QRP, all you need to do is connect them with the connectives of biconditional. And then again, in biconditional, if two statements are the same values, okay, so true, true, false, false, the result is true. But if they have different values like true, false, or false, true, then that's the time that it will become a false statement. Okay? So in here, lahat naman dito parehas sa true, 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 false, false. So that's why we have all true results. So we call this one tautology. Okay? Okay, so let's have another example of tautology. Okay, so we have this one, P and P conditional Q, and then conditional Q again. Okay, so I'll leave the analyzation part into you guys. So ito yung result ng P conditional Q, result ng P and A, and then upon putting the entire statement, this one, so you can actually do this one. So this one, P conditional Q is being represented by variable capital letter A. And then P and A is represented by the capital letter B. So as you can see, instead of putting the entire P conditional Q, you use the alternates or alternatives rather, okay, of this one. So naging A na lang instead of P conditional Q. Okay, and then this P and A is now being represented by variable P. And then yung pinaka-last, since itong kabuuan na to is already this one, P and A, so we could say that this one is now B, B conditional Q. Okay. So as you can see, you don't need to write every part of that statement. So you can actually create another shortcut variables para lang mas mapa-excite. Okay? Para hindi sobrang haba ng mga variable statements natin. Okay, so instead of having 3, 4, so pwede mo siyang gawing isa into letter A, B, C. So depending on the variables that you're going to use. So in here, the result is all true again. So this one is a tautology. Okay. And then here are another examples of tautologies. So we have a lot. So A to H. So iwanan ko na yung verification part sa inyo. So pwede kayong, alam niyo na, mag-practice. So practice kayong gumawa ng mga truth table. So malaking tulong to kasi in our next topic, you'll be creating truth tables for your expressions. Okay? So sobrang halaga ng tama, okay, or accurate na truth tables. Kasi pag mali-mali yung nilalagay mo or magkamali ka na sa isa, okay, sa isang value lang, let's say, instead of putting here false, pero nilagay mo true, the entire result will become a mistake already. So dapat kabisado mo talaga. Okay? So paano mo siya makakabisado? By doing it manually. Okay? By experiencing it yourself. Hindi lang naintindihan mo. Okay? Hindi yun sapat. Dapat alam mo talaga kung paano mag-combine ng and, ng or, ng conditional, ng kung paano ba yung negation, paano yung XOR, and ng biconditional. Sabi ko na ba kanina? Okay, sabi ko na natin guys. So dapat kabisado mo yung mga yan, okay? Kasi hindi mo alam kung ano yung mga connectives na ginagamit. And then, just simply apply kung ano yung natutunan mo sa mathematics. Okay? So again, kagaya ng sabi natin, mula pa nung elementary tayo, nung high school, kung ano yung nasa parenthesis, yun muna yung uunahin natin. Okay? So, laging ganon, okay? Kung ano yung nasa parenthesis or close and open parenthesis, yun yung priority natin bago tayo pumunta sa labas. So get the result of this one first before solving this one. Okay? And so on and so forth. So napakarami. Okay? So dapat lahat ng mga resulta na makukuha nyo dito are tautologies. Dapat lahat. Kasi kung hindi, then ibig sabihin may mali na dito sa example na to or may mali na sa solution nyo. So you should double check also. Okay? So next one. So if we have tautology, we also have contradiction. So this is the complete opposite of the tautology, wherein in contradiction, all of the results are false. Okay, so very simple. As long as nagets yun in tautology, you will also get the idea of contradiction. I think very obvious naman. Tautology, we have here the word like T, or which is true. And then for contradiction, it's like contra. So parang, hindi ko alam kung paano siya marirelate sa false. Pero kapag contra, it's already false. Or that's one is absurd. Parang ganun. Okay? Absurd siya kasi parang weird dahil lahat ng result ay false. Okay? And then in most cases, we use truth tables para ma-identify kung true ba yung statement 1 or false ba yung statement 2. And sometimes, kahit na true yung statement 1 and statement 2, bakit nakakuha tayo ng false? So, parang ganun. Kaya tinawag na absurd. Yung iba kasi kapag pinagsama na yung mga, let's say, lahat true statement, dapat true din yung result. Pero dito, nakakakuha tayo ng false. Kaya minsan, having a result of false in our entire expression is like, there must be something wrong. Parang ganun. Pero dito, talagang lahat mali. Okay, kahit anong combination. Gamit lang naman itong expression na to. Okay? Hindi naman lahat. Okay? So, we have here another example wherein it is also a contradiction. Okay, so ito yung isang example natin. I'll leave the analyzation part with you guys. So meron kayong part na hindi naintindihan, I highly suggest na i-rewatch na lang yung video or go back to our first 10 slides kasi nandun yung mga truth tables ng mga conjunction, disjunction, and so on and so forth. Okay? So if we have contradiction and tautology, we also have contingency. Okay? So ito na yung combination of true or false. Okay? So basically, lahat naman ng mga expressions, hindi natin alam kung ano yung magiging outcome. So kapag yung lahat ng outcome is true, then we call that one tautology. If lahat ng result is false, then we call that one contradiction. But if there is a combination of true and false, then we call that one contingency. Okay? So let's say we have 10 possible results. And 9 of those are false, and then one of them is true. So, kahit gano'n pa karami yung iba, tapos may isang naiiba, that's already contingency. Okay? Or vice versa. So, kung false yung 9 yung false and then 1 is true, or vice versa, contingency pa rin yun. Okay? As long as it's not a pure contradiction or pure tautology, then contingency na agad yun. Okay? So, here are the examples of contingency. Okay? So, you can try it for yourself kung ano yung magiging result. So, I'm pretty sure that that expression has a combination of true and false. Okay? So before we proceed to the next slide, do you guys have a question so far or are we good?
Wala po.
Wala po, sir.
Wala po.
Okay, that's good. So again, baka nahihiya kayo kung may mga katanungan kayo. So wag kayong mahiya. Okay lang na magtanong kayo kahit na nagsasalita ako. Okay, mas okay nga yun kasi ibig sabihin, nakikinig ka talaga, hindi yung ano, iba yung ginagawa mo, okay? Focus ka talaga. Okay, so after those topics, you're going to have this break, of course. So all you need to do is verify whether this one is tautology, contradiction, or contingency. Okay, so for you to be able to verify whether this one is a tautology, contradiction, or contingency, so you should create their truth tables. Okay, just like what we did in our past examples. Okay, so create nyo yung truth tables na ito, and then alamin nyo kung ano yung magiging, ito, kung saan siya magpo-fall. Okay, so you have 3 choices. Okay, so don't worry, itong mga to is multiple choice naman. So all you have to do is, to eat or do this on a scratch paper and then sagutan nyo na lang sa canvas. Okay. Next, we have here logical equivalence. So ito na siguro yung pinakamadali na connectives na maiintindihan nyo. So when we see equivalence, then meaning you're saying that the left side is equal to your right side. Okay, so we can write P and Q as logical equivalent as P logical equivalence Q, provided that either P and Q are both true or P and Q are both false. So meaning we have the same value. So if P is true, then Q must be true for them to become equal. Or vice versa kapag naging false. Okay? So, logical equivalence. So, in here, instead of using equal sign, okay, gumamit pa tayo ng special equal sign wherein a triple horizontal line. So, not just 2 but 3. Okay? Alright, so exercises. So, eto iiwanan ko na rin tong part ng ano tawag dito, evaluation, okay, of the values. So, in here, we've just simply applied the Morgan's laws. Bakit? Kasi kung papansin ninyo, we have this one, P or Q, and then a bar line on the top of it. And then the equivalent of it is not P and not Q. And then kung papansin mo dito, we have here or, so that or, once you've negated that or, it will become N. Or vice versa. If you negate N, it will become or. Okay? So of course, from true, it will become not P, and then from true Q, it will become not Q. Okay, so we're just simply trying to prove here that this P or Q with the horizontal line on the top is equal to the not P and not Q. Okay, so the same with this one. Actually, kabaliktaran lang to. Yung or natin naging N, and then of course, if you're going to negate N, it will become or. Okay? So dapat itong results na ito, okay, itong P and Q is the same with this one, P or Q. The same with this one, P and Q, and then P or Q. Dapat magkaparehas tong dalawang to, yung fourth and fifth column, and then second and third naman yung magkaparehas. Okay? So we have another exercises here. So show the logical equivalence of the following using truth table. Okay. So dito naman, ipapakita mo lang yung truth table na itong nasa left side and then yung truth table na nasa right side. So dapat same yung makukuha mong results para masabi natin they are logically equivalent. So the same with letter B. Okay? So yeah. 52, teka lang. Oo nga. As I remember, hindi ko nga pala to dinagdag. Actually, meron kasing 2 section ng DiscMath, di ba? So, sa isang section, natapos na kasi namin tong part 1. Naalala ko, hindi ko pala binigay ito sa kanila. Okay, as their it work. So, instead of exercise, okay, just do this one as part of your practice activities. Okay? So, hindi na to required. Just do this one as part of your practice. So, just prove that they are equal. Okay? So, that's actually it for the part 1. So, do you guys have a question or clarification so far?
Okay.
Sure. Okay, so it seems that most of you here are Filipino, so I can speak Taglish. Do we have a foreigner here? I'll just confirm if ever there is one. A foreigner who cannot understand Tagalog, because there are some foreigners who can understand Tagalog. So do we have someone, a foreigner who cannot understand Tagalog?
Po ata.
Okay, so I guess not. Pero kasi may in-enroll ako eh. Naalala ko, nakalimutan ko lang yung last name. He is Folawelo, I guess. Pero hindi ko alam kung anong section siya. Anyway, I guess he's not here. So anyway. Okay, so let's now proceed to Module 2. Module 1, Part 1. Module 1, Part 2. Okay, let's get. Okay, so this is now the continuation of the Module 1. Okay, so this is the Part 2, okay, which is still logic and proofs. Okay, to begin with, we have here the laws of logic. So in here, before I make them memorize the formulas. Okay, so actually we have 1 up to 25 formulas, but not actually formulas. Um, Derivations. Okay, wherein we're trying to say that, let's say, this expression is equal to this expression. Okay, so some of those has an example wherein it's proven that this expression is equal to this one. But some of those are it can be solved logically, like with the use of mathematics. Okay, kung paano tayo nag-come up sa ganito into that. So yung iba, medyo complicated siyang tingnan. Yun yung mga ipuprove natin. Yung mga simple, leave it as it is. Kasi pwede natin siyang ma-solve ng, ang tawag dito, nang gamit ang utak lang. Okay? You don't need solutions for you to prove that this one is equal to this one. Like, it's already understandable. Okay, okay, so let's begin with number 1. So we have here commutative properties wherein P or Q is equal to Q or P. So, gamit ang or, kahit pagbalik-balik na rin mo yung dalawang variables, same lang sila. P or Q is equal to Q or P. So, yeah. Okay, so eto, gets nyo naman na siguro to, di ba? Wala nang problema dyan. The same with and. Okay, so if we can do that one in or, in or, we can also do that one in and. So if we have P and Q, we can also say that Q and P is the same with this one. Okay? Pinagbaliktad lang. So, are we clear so far? So, tatanungin ko na lang kayo each laws of logic. So, number 1, gets nyo ba? Number 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Po.
Okay, it's good. So, step by step tayo. Moving on, we have associative properties. Okay? So, we have here P or, and then close it up in parentheses, Q or R. Wherein it is saying that this one is equal to, close it up in parentheses, P or Q or R. Now, para hindi kayo malito, kapag pare-parehas yung connectives natin, let's say tatlong statement, P, Q, R, and then they are being connected with the same, okay, and or yung or, so applicable lang to sa and saka or, okay, hindi sa conditional or biconditional or the other connectives. This one is only applicable strictly for and then or conjunction or disjunction. So pag ganun, pwede nyong sabihin na ito ay nasa close and open parenthesis din. Or ito ay nasa close and open parenthesis. Okay. So take note kung ano lang yung katabi niya. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin P or R or Q. Well, actually pwede, pero mamaya pa para hindi kayo maguluhan. Okay. So for now, kung ano yung katabi niya, pwede mong sabihin P or Q and then or R. Okay. Just like this one. So if we can apply this one with or we can also do this one in and. Okay. So gets nyo so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one, distributed properties. Okay. This one is just basically using a FOIL method. So kung alam niyo yung FOIL method, first, outer, inner, and then last. So basically parang multiplication lang to, distribution kumbaga. Kaya ka tinawag na distributed property set. So P or Q and R. So in here, magkakaiba na yung connectives natin. So yan. Meron tayong or dito, meron din tayong and. Or pwede nating sabihin meron tayong and dito and then meron tayong or. Okay? So pinagkaiba nila, kung ano yung nasa labas, okay, basically didisipin mo lang to. P times Q, P times R. Pero ito yung dapat yung tandaan para hindi kayo magkamali. Kung anong nasa labas, yun yung magiging nasa loob. Okay? Kung ano yung nasa loob, yun yung magiging nasa labas. Okay? Ganun lang naman yung logic. So basically, dinistribute ko lang to. P times Q, P times R. Pero yung magiging connectives nila is kung ano yung nasa loob, kung ano yung nasa labas rather, will become the one that is inside. Kung ano yung nasa loob will become the one that is outside. Okay? So, nabaliktad lang. So, yeah. Ganun din dito sa and then or. Okay. Again, kung ano yung nasa labas will become the one that is inside. And then kung ano yung nasa loob will become the one that is outside. Okay. So, gets so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sige ha. Yes kayo ng yes dyan, mamaya hindi Well, anyway, nasa inyo na kasi ito kung ano yung mga natutunan nyo for your past maths. So, dapat alam nyo na to, gets nyo na to. Okay. So, kung hindi, ibig sabihin hindi ka nag-aaral na mabuti. Okay, hindi ka nakikinig. Anyway, so we have here idempotent properties. Ito, sobrang dali lang naman nito. Okay. So, if you're going to analyze one, let's say we have a value of true. True and true is true for n. Okay. And then for or true is still true. And then kapag false naman, false and false is still false. And then false or false is still false. So pag meron tayong ganito, okay, pagkaparehas na variables, and then they are being connected by conjunction or disjunction, then we can just simply remove the other one. Okay. So we call that one idempotent. Kasi ganun naman yung magiging result kapag meron tayong true na value for that variable or false na value for that variable. So, P and Q is just simply P. And then P or P is just simply P. Okay? As long as magkaparehas yung variable. And then, double negation. So, alam niyo naman na to. So, negative times negative is positive. Okay? So, no question regarding with this one. Pretty sure. Kung hindi mo na-gets to, ako, go back ka sa high school, hindi mo alam mag-multiply ng negative times negative. Okay? So, are we clear so far from 1 to 9?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, moving on. We have here identity. Okay? So, we have here P and true is equal to P. So, bakit? Kasi kung ano man yung value ng P natin, that will still be our result. Kung ano man, kahit ano man mangyari. Kasi meron na tayong true na value sa isang statement. So, for sure, kung ano man yung value nito, siya na yung deciding factor. Bakit? Kasi pag true to, of course, if true and true, so true pa rin. Kapag false to, false and true, magiging false na to. Okay? So, kapag meron ganito, P and T equals to P na siya kagad. Okay. Actually, ito na yung isa sa mga pwedeng hindi mo i-memorize or pwedeng hindi mo isama. Kasi upon evaluating the entire expression, kapag nilagay mo true yung P, then magiging true siya. Kapag nilagay mo naman false yung P, then kapag in-evaluate mo yun, magiging false naman siya. So, yeah. Pero just in case, kung gusto mo nang i-eliminate to kaagad, so pwede naman. So this one is equal to this one. So the same with P or F. Okay? So basically, ibalik mo lang kung true yung P, so true pa rin to. Kung F yung P, F pa rin to. Okay? So that is upon evaluating those two statements using and then or. Okay? And then we have your domination. So in here, no matter what is the value of your P, okay, it is still false kasi nga meron na tayong false kaagad dito. Kasi kung aalalahan ninyo, yung sinabi ko sa conjunction, kapag merong isang false na statement and then they've used a connectives conjunction, the entire statement is already false. No matter what is the value of the other statements. So in here, from here, alam na natin kagad-agad, false na isa, so false na yung buong statement. Okay, the same with or. So dito naman, kapag meron ng isang true, okay, sa or, the entire statement is already true, no matter what is the value of the other statements. Okay, so we call that one domination. And then we have here the absorption. Now, ito yung isa sa mga kailangan nyo memorize kasi napaka-useful nito. So memorize one, absorption. Kapag meron kayong nakitang ganito, magkaiba, okay, yung connectives, And then merong magkaparehas, okay? Or parehas yung nasa outer at saka yung isang nasa inner. Oops. Okay, like this one, P and then P or Q. Pag ganito, pwede mo na siyang i-absorb into P na lang. Okay? So you can prove this one using a truth table. Okay, malalaman mo kung bakit P na lang yung laging value. Kasi yung value ng P is the same with our result upon creating the truth table of this one. The same with this one. Okay, again, magkaiba sila or and then N. And then meron magkaparehas na variable P saka P. Okay, which is P. So kung sakaling Q yung nandito, okay, pagbalik rin mo lang yung dalawa, Q and P. So Q naman na yung magiging absorption natin. Okay. So, yeah, isa to sa mga mabilis or pampabilis when it comes to simplifying expressions. So, pwede pa rin naman, okay, pwede pa rin naman na isama nyo to, okay, just evaluate this one as it is. Yun nga lang mas mahaba, okay, and then mas matrabaho. So, this will save you a lot of work, from 3 variables into 1 variable only. Okay, isa to sa mga isa-suggest kong i-memorize nyo talaga. And then we have here the De Morgan's law. Basically, yung kanina yung meron tayong bar graph. Okay, pero sa ngayon, in-enclose na lang natin. Close and open parenthesis. So basically, i-distribute mo lang tong negation na to sa loob ng close and open parenthesis na to. So we have here not P, and then kapag ninegate mo yung or again, it will become N. And then not Q. Okay, there you go. So not P and not Q is the same with not, close and open parenthesis, P or Q. And the same with this one. So ang pinagkaibahan lang is yung connectives. So from or it will become N. So of course, kapag dinegate mo yung N, it will become or. So ito logical, parang sobrang dali na nito kahit hindi nyo kailangang i-memorize. As long as alam nyo lang yung negated result ng N and then negated result ng or, then you're good to go. Okay? So that's it for 10 to 17. Do you guys have a question or clarification so far?
Answer.
Wala naman po.
Sure? So, hindi naman siya ganun kadaling i-memorize, pero kayang-kaya yan. Okay, agad-agad. Yeah, you can not memorize this one since we are open notes. Pero kasi mas matatagal lang kayo. Okay, mas masasuggest ko talaga na kapag memorize niyo itong mga laws of logic, kahit hindi nyo natitignan to, okay, alam nyo na kaagad. Lalo na, yun, expression. So, mahaba-habang solution minsan, nakakalito. Anyway, so we have here the continuation. So, we have P conditional Q is equal to not P or Q. Or P conditional not Q is equal to not P or not Q. Okay? So, dito, ang masasuggest ko na lang talaga dito is simply memorize this one. Okay? So, meron tong mga proof, okay, kung bakit ganyan yung equivalent nila. Pero sa ngayon, itong P conditional Q is equal to not P. So take note, manenegate yung nasa unahan. And then magiging or yung conditional and then magi-stay as it is yung nasa pinakahulihan. Okay? So again, pag meron kang conditional, the first one will become negated. And then your conditional will become or, and then the last one will stay as it is. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimpleng i-memorize. And then later on, para convince kayo kung bakit equal etong right side natin sa left side. So we have proof for this one. Okay? But that one would be later on. Then moving on, we have here number 19. So P and Q, I think same lang to. P and Q, not Q, and not P. Hindi. Iba na to. So we call this one contrapositive. Okay? So contrapositive, ito sobrang dali naman. Pag contrapositive, magre-retain yung nasa gitna. Okay? But your conclusion will become your hypothesis and your hypothesis will become your conclusion. But upon exchanging those two, negated na sila. Okay? So, ganun lang ka simple. Kapag contrapositive, okay, sa ngayon hindi nyo muna memorize to. Basta kapag narinig nyo yung word na contrapositive, conditional pa rin yung gamit sa gitna, your conclusion will become your hypothesis, hypothesis will become your conclusion. And then, kapag na-exchange mo na silang dalawa, just negate those two. Okay? So, ganun.